My names are Mishek. Since the Honorable Member of Parliament for Chasef is also Mishek, I'm tempted. But since I'm Mishek Mutelo from Mitete, the temptation has gone away. You are welcome to your council. To your committee. Feel at home. Happy New Year.
Thank you, Chair. Good afternoon. Chasefu, Honorable Dr. Aaron Mwanza, Area Member of Parliament for Kaumbwe Constituency, Petauke District of the Eastern Province. You are most welcome to your committee and feel at home too. Thank you.
Chair, I'm very grateful. Chasefu, good afternoon. You are welcome to your committee. I'm Singombe Edgar, Member of Parliament for Dundumwezi in Kalomo Southern Province. Chair, Mr. Jeff is a product of Kalomo, so whatever good things you see there, we taught him from Kalomo. You are welcome.
How about bad things? Vice Chair? Is she there? Vice Chair? Okay, she's muted. Chasef Town Council. Mulunda Darius, Member of Parliament for Siavonga constituency. And I'm the chairperson for the committee appearing before this afternoon, the Committee on Local Government Accounts, your committee. Members of Parliament under Cap 12 of the Laws of Zambia, Chasef enjoys the immunity, and the same is extended to you when you appear before any parliamentary committee, that whatever you say during our interaction with this committee will not be used against you in any courts of law. However, if you choose to mislead this committee, misinform the committee, misguide it, the same will be applied on you. But I have no doubt in my mind that you wouldn't take that route and that you're going to give us factual information, useful information, the information that we'll use to generate a very good report to the main house before Honorable Madam Speaker. With that guidance, Council Secretary, let me invite you now to make your submission to this committee with further guidance that you're going to read the query, then you give your management responses, the action that the management has taken, and of course the remedy that you are offering. Please proceed in that fashion. Thank you.
Thank you, Chair. Part A of our report, delayed completion of community projects. Management response. Number 1, rehabilitation of 1x3 classroom block at Zovurume Primary School. Cause of query. Management acknowledges the auditor's findings and wishes to state that the project was as a result of the disaster that had its roof blown off, was delayed to be completed due to the increased scope and changes in the cost of materials, which called for a variation on 14th July 2023. There was need to include the construction of the veranda in order to standardize the structure, as this was initially built by the community. See Appendix 1. Also, poor access road to the project site was also a contributing factor to the delay in the initial implementation stage of the project, as it was in the rainy season. Action taken. The outstanding works as at 31st October 2023 have since been completed and ready for commissioning, as indicated in the pictures below. Remedial measures. Management to ensure that future projects are completed within the agreed time frame and further avoid force account method of projects implementation. 2, Chair, management response. Construction of 1x3 classroom block at Muswazi Primary School under Kajirime Ward. Cause of query. Management acknowledges the auditor's findings and wishes to state that the major cause for the project to delay in completion was due to the contractor's failure to access the advance bond in the early stages of the contract from the insurers, which made it difficult for management to pay advance payment to the contractor. This resulted in slow pace of execution at the beginning of the project. See Appendix 2. Chair, action taken. Management wishes to report that the contractor has since completed all the outstanding works as reported by Auditor General. After close monitoring of the works according to the specification provided for in the bill of quantity, the project is now ready for commissioning. See the picture below. Remedial measures. Management wishes to report that for future projects are done within the stipulated time frame. Further, we will ensure that we increase sensitization in conjunction with insurance companies to contractors on how to access advance bonds. Number 3, management response. Rehabilitation of 1x2 classroom block at Chawea Primary School in Membe Ward. Cause of query. Management acknowledges Auditor General's finding on the rehabilitation of 1x2 classroom block at Chawea Primary School, which had its roof blown off due to adverse weather conditions. The project delayed to be completed due to the scarcity of bent bricks within the project area. Action taken. Management wishes to report that the contractor has since completed all the outstanding works reported by the auditor. After close monitoring of the works according to specification provided in the BOQ, the project has since been completed and ready for commissioning. You can refer to Appendix 3. Remedial measures. Chair, management to ensure that future projects are completed within the agreed time frame and further avoid force account method of projects implementation. B, Chair, failure to complete desk refurbishments. The council allocated funds totaling to 812,812 kwacha for refurbishment of 1,700 desks.
Council Secretary,
Okay.
you're supposed to go to your management. You are reading something else.
Sorry, Chair?
You go to management after reading
Oh,
the
okay, okay. Thank you for your guidance, Chair. Management response, cause of query. Management wishes to acknowledge auditor's findings and wishes to state that the project was being implemented under force account. The application and cost estimates provided by the Ministry of Education to the Constituency Development Committee was underestimated, which resulted in the request for variation. You can refer to Appendix 4. Further, the price changes in the cost of materials and fuel pump prices affected the transportation costs of timber from the sources to Lundazi, where the planning is being done. Action taken. Management wishes to report that on the 1,200 desks remaining, the following works have been done as tabulated in the table. On the desk frames, all the 1,200 desk frames have been completed. 2 120 desk frames have been fitted with both the top timber and the seater timber. 105 desks have been fitted with the seaters only. Then on the timber part of the project, Chair, we have 161 timber pieces, that is top and seater, has already been planed. We have 415 timber pieces collected from the supplier and awaiting planing. We have 399 timber pieces, both top and seaters have been cut and ready for correction from the suppliers in the bush. Remedial measure, management to ensure that future projects are completed within the agreed time frame and further avoid using force account method of projects implementation.
We are guided that bullet number C has been resolved. That's the information from the auditors. So you go to page 12.
Page 12.
Not 13 actually. 14.
Okay.
On cross-cutting issues.
Thank you, Chair. Part B, cross-cutting issues. Management response. Cause of query. Management acknowledges auditors' observations and further reports that the balance of 17,082,310 kwacha was attributed to main factors such as the formulation of guidelines for the Constituent Development Fund, which were launched in February 2022, and lengthy approval processes like the clearance of contracts by the Director Finance at Provincial Office and Attorney General in Lusaka, as opposed to everything ending at council level after ministerial approval of the projects. Further, the failure to spend was caused by the low turnout in applications that were received. Chair, allow me to make correction. Received under the bursaries, school bursaries, not empowerment loans. Action taken. Management has since disbursed 22,633,483 42 ngwe on CDF projects as at 31st December 2023. The table below shows the Chasef Constituency Development Fund expenditure returns for 2022 allocation. That's the table, Chair. Remedial measures. Management shall ensure that at planning stage, receiving applications and submissions of the applications to the Ministry of the Local Government and Rural Development at provincial level are done by first week of January, like we have done for the 2024 applications. Chair, management response on failure to spend, cause of query. Management acknowledges the auditor's findings on the failure to spend the fund on the 17 approved projects. The failure was attributed to inability by some of the local contractors to comprehend procurement processes. As a result, responses to the bids were poor. Management had to re-advertise some projects, such as completion of 1x3 classroom block at Chizingizi Primary School and completion of 1x2 classroom block at Chidoro Primary School. Further, the Constituent Development Fund guidelines were only launched in February 2022. This had an impact on the implementation of the projects. One project under 2021 CDF as completion of 1x3 classroom block at Champero Primary School, as its contract terminated due to the contractor abandoning the site, hence breaching the fundamental provision of the contract, and this was re-advertised. The process of re-advertising and contract clearance of the contract to the successful bidder also delayed. Action taken. Management has since completed the 2021 CDF projects, apart from one project for completion of 1x3 classroom block at Champero Primary School, which management has since managed to engage the contractor, and the project is being finalized. Most of the 2022 projects have been completed, except one to do with drilling of boreholes, which were under budgeted, which we have requested for additional funding as well. Remedial measures. Management shall ensure that local contractors are capacity built on procurement processes and project management. Chair, Appendix 8, failure to disperse soft loans. Management response. Cause of query. Management acknowledges the auditor's observation on the failure to spend funds amounting to 2,934,350. The reason for failure to disperse soft loans at the time of audit was due to the delay in releasing the guidance and procedure by the Ministry of Local Government and Rural Development. The guidance was only released in, on 24th March 2023, reference circular number MLGRD/101/22/157. Can refer to Appendix 8. Action taken. Management has since disbursed soft loans amounting to 2,926,058 kwacha 17 ingwe on CDF projects, leaving a balance of 8,291.67 ingwe. Remedial measure. Management to ensure that loans are disbursed once the funds are available. Appendix 9.1, Bursary Secondary School and Skills Development, and spent grant. Management response. Cause of query. Management acknowledges the auditor's findings and wishes to state that unspent funds amounting to 3,342,923 was attributed to absence of a ration, protective clothing, and transport expenses in the area disbursement for would-be beneficiary students. Many opted not to go. Action taken. Management wishes to report that in order to avoid unspent funds in the council coffers and with the ministerial guidance on the variation of unspent funds, council varied unspent funds to the construction of 1x2 classroom block at Nyavi Primary School, and also used the same funds to pay for 2022 returning pupils and students, as well as 2023 bursary beneficiaries, including their ration and protective clothing. As at 31st December 2023, the balance of the bursary was 173,000 kwacha 907. The picture below there, Chair, shows the completed 1x2 classroom block at Nyavi School, which was as a result of a variation from bursary. Remedial measures. management to ensure that there is continuous sensitization of stakeholders on all the Constituency Development Fund components through radio programs in order to increase number of applicants. I therefore wish to submit my clarification to the cited queries and assurance to the committee that the remedial measures to the queries for Chasef Town Council shall be adhered to. Thank you, Chair.
Honorable Singombe. Honorable Mwanza.
Chair, thank you very much, and I want to thank the Chasef Town Council for the submission. Chair, may I put it on record that I think they're among the few who have strived to ensure that queries are answered before they come to this committee, especially on uncompleted infrastructure. However, Chair, I wish to ask a question on page 18 on bursary, secondary school and skills development. Maybe just two short concerns there. One, I realize that in your column, as a local authority, you never paid for any pupil, while government is encouraging free education. Your column here indicates blank, and I suppose that is 0. Same applies to students. Are you saying in Chasefu we have no secondary school pupils in any boarding school? Secondly, you may also shed a bit of light on what you spent the money for. There is 1.54760. What did you spend this money on? Thank you very much, Chair.
Thank you. Honorable Dr. Mwanza.
Thank you, Chair. Chasefu, thank you for such a report. My question would directly go to, did you go through this report as a team? If so, why there are so many distortions in terms of facts? I will highlight. So the final answer that you need to give is concerning, did you go through this report? Is this a true reflection of what is on the ground in terms of projects? I go to page 1. Page 1, delayed completion of community projects. A physical inspection carried in October 2023 revealed that out of 30 projects, 10 amounting to 5,754,572 had not yet been completed as at 18th October 2023. See table below. The table below, I'm expecting to see 10 projects. You have only given 3 projects. And you are saying that out of 30 projects, which means from the onset, it entails that 30 projects are ongoing. Now, if I take you to Appendix 1, just before Appendix 1, page 16 of 19. I just take one snapshot sentence here which says, cause of query, I think it was on failure to spend. Management acknowledges the auditor's findings on the failure to spend the fund on the 17 approved projects. But page 1 is telling us that out of 30 projects, And this statement here is 17 projects. I can compound it further to refer you to Appendix 5, page 6 of the CDF meeting. Summary of components for 2022 CDF Chasefu. The number, when you look at the table, the community projects, the number approved, you received 54 projects, and the number submitted for approval were 15 projects, and you deferred 39. Of the 15, you are looking at a cost of 8,229,522.75. We are getting different information in terms of the number of community projects that are on the ground. Here, from the first picture, is 30 projects. Now, my first question is, how many projects are on the ground?
You can look at that.
Is this a supplementary submission?
Yes. From the auditors.
Oh, okay. Well.
No, just finish up asking.
Yeah. So, first question, how many community projects are ongoing? And how many are completed? And because I can see, you've said somewhere, you are saying you have completed almost all the community projects except for drilling, but what you have completed only is, I think, three community projects. So give the clarity on the projects that are ongoing, and then just project specific. To be project specific, the first table, page 1, the rehabilitation of Zovlume Primary School, 1x3 classroom block. This Zovlume Primary School shows a contract sum of 34,000 kwacha, and what you paid is 253,691. Where is the variation to show that this contract varied from 34,000? Because the contract sum here is stating 34,000 kwacha, and but you paid almost 10 times the amount. Yes. I'm also looking at the contract details on Appendix 1. I just finished this last one. Just on the same one, on Zovlume. So the Appendix 1, there's a practical project practical completion certificate. Are we there?
What's your question on that?
It's about the contract periods. On this table, we can all see that the contract date was 20th of December. That is the start date. And then the end date was 20th of February in 2023. But if you look at the completion certificate, which is in Appendix 1, the dates do not tally. So the question is, which dates did this contract start? Here, the practical implementation start date on the practical completion certificate is 20th December, yes. But initial initial project completion date is 8th December 2023. Whilst on page 1, the project was supposed to end in February. Maybe you might just...
Secretary, there are a lot of questions on this.
Yeah. Thank you, Chair. I'll start with the last. I'll also invite my team to help me on some points.
Yes.
The rehabilitation of 1x3 classroom block, vis-a-vis the query, the concern on the amount paid and the contract sum. Chair, on page 2, we have highlighted that this is a force account project. It was a disaster project. So the amount shown as paid to the contractor, that was the labor cost.
The 34?
Yeah.
The 34,000 is as labor cost?
Labor cost.
Okay.
It's labor based. The value for labor was 34,000.
Okay.
Then the total cost on this project, including labor, it's 253,691. Yes.
Okay. Okay.
Thank you so much. If you go to your appendix 1, somewhere where you have tabulated these projects, rehabilitation of 1x3 classroom block, Zevulune, allocation amount 212,513. Proposed 292,513. Variance 80. How do you now clarify properly? 34 we paid for labor. 253,691 materials, eh? It could be for what? For materials?
Yes.
Where is the list of materials? And when you go to that, you still get different sums altogether. What do you mean when you say contract sum? You've gone to your appendix. Are you seeing the 212, 292, and then 253? Just clarify, take out the mist there.
Okay. Okay. Yes, Chair. Clarification on the figures.
Yes.
Yeah. The initial allocation before even signing a labor contract was 212,513.
Yes.
Yes.
But here you've put 253. If the initial is 212, why didn't it come out?
Honorable,
there is
allow him to finish. Yes.
there is a variation which added to the initial allocation,
Yes.
taking the figure to 292. Yes.
Okay.
And this is the amount shown in the table. This is the amount paid at the time of the auditors when they were doing the audit.
Which amount?
Which amount?
The 253.
So sorry, Chair, through you. The 80 remained. It's yet to be paid.
Maybe let me be assisted by my
Exactly.
Director Finance.
Yes.
Okay. Yes, Finance?
Yes, thank you, Chair. If we go to the appendices, it shows the community variation projects. So the total budget for the project is 292. The 80,000 came in because the project, if you read in our narrative, it says we delayed. So because of the variation which was approved by CDFC on 14th of July, that necessitated it to reach the 292,000. But if you look at the the 292,000 includes the labor component. So if you look at the table being referred to, the auditor removed the component part to show, and also they took the amount paid so far at the time of audit. So this amount, which is 34,000, at the time of audit, we had not fully paid it in full because the project was not completed at that time.
You
I
go,
hope I've clarified.
yes, you go to the same page, page 1. You have also Chaweya.
Yes.
Contract sum 35. Amount paid 183. Here on the appendix, it's not there.
Thank you, Chair.
Please, go ahead.
The why Chaweya is not appearing on the appendices because it was not part of the variation project. If you look on top there where it says item 4, it's community project variations. So Chaweya was not part of the projects varied.
Chair,
Okay, yes.
just to go to the same Zovulume, what is the total project cost that the council spent on this Zovulume primary school? Because I check on the project practical completion certificate, which is Appendix 1. In Appendix 1, the project practical completion certificate for Zovulume Primary School is showing that the project costed 34,000 kwacha. So anyone, any auditor, anybody would just take it to say the rehabilitation at the Zovulume Primary School costed 34,000 kwacha. Why did you hide the total cost to be on the completion certificate?
Council Secretary.
Chair, we acknowledge that that there is an error on the certificate in that the Director Works only captured the labor cost.
Now, what would make your committee suspect that the 253 went somewhere else? Because in the certificate of completion, you've put how much? 34. And you look at the works. However, through you, Chair, allow me agree with Chasefu. Where is the list of materials that you bought equivalent to 253? So that we agree with you. Where is the list of materials?
Council Secretary.
The payments done.
Chair, we apologize. The details for the materials that were consumed on the project has not been captured to be part of the report, but we are ready to provide all the information to satisfy the committee.
Chair.
Please communicate with
Chair, thank you very much.
Secretariat.
Chair, I'm a bit not clear because on the same contract or sum of 34,000, I'm sure they have stated to say this was a community-based, and it's council who were procuring the material. Yes. So now, this committee is evidence-based, and we want to help you clear this situation the narrative that the people have over the councils, that sometimes it's them who pockets this money. I'll follow what the member for Mitete had to ask. We want that list, and also the payment voucher, Chair. They need to clarify. Even if there is no list for the material, do you have any payment voucher attached to speak to this query that really you purchased the materials? Chair, I submit.
Yes.
In addition to that, Chair, the CS is very clear that this is an error. There are various types of errors as far as I'm concerned in accounting. So may he state to us, Chair, to your committee, what kind of an error this is. Is it compensatory error, error of principle, or what? Where a similar figure is stating that it is an error is repeatedly written in the same format. I submit, Chair.
Council Secretary. There are two questions. There is a question from there. Didn't get it, but
Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Chair.
yes.
Yeah. Apologies again to this very important committee. We could not furnish all the information in that we focused so much on the cited query, delayed completion. Otherwise, would have furnished this very noble committee with all the information. Yes.
The question on last one. Last one. The same. This was a disaster project, right?
Yes.
So Volume, the roof was blown off, and Chawea, the roof was also blown off. Yes. When I look at the scope of work for these two sites, they are exactly the same. When you look at page 1, the table 1, go to scope of work, it's exactly the same. Demolition of brick wall to window level. Also at Chawea, demolition of brick wall to window level. When I look at the pictures, which is on page 2, for Zovulume, it shows that it just had the roof blown off, right?
Yes.
The walls were intact.
No.
I'm asking,
Yes.
the disaster that happened at Zovulume, it suffered a blown off roof. Similarly also, Chawea, which is on page 6 of 19, from the picture that you have provided, Chawea, it seems it suffered a very devastating effect because it shows that the whole building actually was down, right? From the picture. What are you're agreeing or you're disagreeing when you're doing like this? Anyway, my question here is why the scope of work is the same here, and the most one which is peculiar is demolition of brick wall to window level. You are demolishing the brick wall up to window level. I can see for sure, like Chawea Primary School, it is okay, it is possible. You demolish, because I can see just isolated brick walls remaining after after the disaster. So here, the description to demolish this brick wall to window level is it applies. But on Zovulume, which is the picture which is at page 2 of 19, why did you put the scope of demolishing the brick wall to window level when the building is intact?
No, the question here you are asking is why do you have the same value on 2 incidents? The other one, the wall collapses. The other one is just the roof.
Yes.
So allow them to respond.
Yeah, so I was just explaining further on
So that when we are done with this, we go to other questions. You've also indicated due to adverse weather conditions, we suffered, or the schools suffered. You've put up the structures. What mechanism have you put to these structures? Because the weather conditions, the severe weather conditions will remain. So what have you really done to avert any future disaster?
Thank you. Thank you, Chair. On the scope, Chair, I want to clarify that these are structures that were built by the community, whose standards are low. First of all, these were built using mud, hence the aspect of demolishing to a stable stage. Then we have a stronger structure. So in terms of addressing the adverse weather, Chair, we have standardized the structures and they are strong. And on top of that, as a district, we have a program of tree planting. So we are encouraging the schools to plant the trees in the surroundings of the school.
Plate. They were done using which bricks? The community.
The mortar for
what did
laying.
They use on the foundation? The same mortar?
The same mortar, yes.
And now you have put some superstructures on the same mortar. Is the foundation strong?
Yes, Chair. These structures have been there for a long time, and in terms of settlement of the ground, we are very much sure that they are very strong in that they didn't have even those cracks you can see emanating from the foundation.
Honorable Singombe?
Chair, my question has not been responded on page 18 before I pose another question.
Secretary, take note of that question.
Okay.
I hope you still recall my question or my concern on page 18.
Okay. Okay.
In addition to that, yes.
Chair, thank you very much. Chair, in addition to the question that was posed by the honorable member, when you look at the number of pupils there, it's 0. Also, the number of students is 0. And now, they have utilized 1.547,660. I wanted to find out if maybe, Chair, they are hiding some information to this committee. How did they utilize the money meant for skills when the number of pupils is 0 and when the number of students is 0? How did you utilize these funds? I submit.
Secretary.
Thank you, Chair. I think we had an omission on the numbers. We have the numbers for the students and the pupils that we paid for. On the pupils, we paid for 54 pupils. Then on the students, we paid for 158 students.
158.
Yes.
Honorable Sagafuso.
Chair, just on the same, if you look at the unspent balance there of 3.3 million, we're being told that they varied the funds to do the construction of a 1x2 classroom block at Nyavi Primary School, and also use the same funds to pay for 2022 remaining students, as well as 2023 remaining students. And in 2023, from 2022 funds, they still have a balance of 173. My questions are, why haven't you provided the evidence to show us, number one, how much it costed you to construct the 1 times 2 classroom block? How much did you pay for the returning students? And how much did you pay for the 2023 students? And lastly, why haven't you applied this balance elsewhere? Why are you still not spending this money, the 173?
Yes.
Sean. Chair, your committee rely on evidences. And they are just telling us that with the guidance on the variation we wrote to the ministry, we would want to see where you wrote to the ministry, in short, who authorized the variation that should be spent for you to construct this 1x2 classroom block. We'd want to know who authorized that, because I was checking on the appendices. Chair, I can't see anything that the ministry is authorizing. Maybe they have got another file where there is that authority. I submit.
Thank you. So I can respond to his question, and please bear in mind, Honorable Singombe. Okay, all right. Respond to that.
Okay. Chair, the variation to construct a 1x2 classroom block was approved by the province. I'll ask the DPO to search for the approval in one of our files.
Okay. And the, okay. Yes.
Maybe while they are looking for the responses, Chair, you may allow me to pose a question from page 8. Page 8 is failure to complete desks refurbishment. And the cause of the query, Chair, management wishes to acknowledge auditor's findings and wishes to state that the project was being implemented under false account. The application and cost estimates provided by the Ministry of Education to the Constituency Development Committee was underestimated. Just help me to inform me and those who are watching from Chasefu. When you are talking about CDFC, why is it that there is this situation where you want to insulate yourselves as a local authority? Because CDFC includes yourselves. Now, how would you allow Ministry of Education to underestimate when you have your officers who were supposed to liaise, and we ended up having an underestimated amount, resulting to failure now to repair the desks? Put it clearly, who is supposed to budget? Because you are not the only local authority. Other local authorities have come here and said the CDF committee refused. I get surprised. How can a CDF committee refuse to approve funds who actually are not trained to come up with BOQs? You know the committee members who sit in that committee. And don't tell me that those people are trained to come up with BOQs. And now we have a situation underestimated, causing this query. Who are supposed to put figures to the project?
Yes.
Thank you, Chair. I agree with the honorable member that the CDF committee members rely on the secretariat, which is technical. In this case of ours, DEB's office forms part of that technical membership to give guidance to the committee. We acknowledge that a due diligence was not done in the way the project was costed, in that other factors were not put into picture, hence causing the under budgeting. Otherwise, it is our responsibility as management. Thank you.
Just a follow-up there.
Follow-up then.
You 500 desks done. How many remained?
1,200.
But you, somewhere in your appendix, there's 1,248. Go to your appendix 4. So should we take 1,200 or 1,248?
1,200.
Go to your appendix, appendix 4. When you are on appendix 4, go to where it says desks, rehabilitation of desks. What figure are you seeing there? Page 4, appendix.
1,248.
So what should we believe? 1,200, 1,248. Or that is a different slot?
Yes. A bullet question. Dr.
Chair,
Manza.
Chair, yes, the
Yes.
CS is about to answer. Yes, you were consulting.
Yeah, I think it's a typo error.
Typo error, 1,248 to be a typo error.
Yeah.
This is the second typo error that we are witnessing, Chair, from CHASEF. Now, Chair, on the same, I would want also to find out, because they are saying the allocated funds totaling to 812. And again, they had to ask for some more funds. Now, they haven't indicated how much more funds they requested from our CDF committee, because here they're just saying further the prices changed in the cost of material and so forth. They haven't included. Also, when you look at the description, 120 desks, frames fitted with both timber and top. I can't see where are these 120 desks. Also, Chair, just the timber pieces of 161, they were supposed to be shown here, because they have shown us the desks. The other 415 timber pieces that were supposed to be collected, because they're saying they have been planned just collecting. From 2022, these timbers chairs are still with the supplier. Why? And we have got all monies that we want. Why should we keep 415 timber pieces, which were supposed to be collected from the supplier up to now? I submit, Chair.
Short one.
Okay.
On the same desks, page 8 of 19, it says, you'll say, a review of the records reviewed that amounts totaling 671.95 were spent, leaving a balance of 142. In this regard, the council signed a labor-based contract with 4 contractors, namely Rumak Pharmacy, Saniv, Agreed, and Sekelela. These contracts, when I compare with the Appendix 4 that you've provided the contract agreement, I don't see the names of these contractors, these suppliers, Rumak, Pharmacy, Sani. I can take an example of, you know, your contracts are on page, they are on Appendix 4, just towards the end. The first contract, this agreement, I can't even read I can't even see the date, even signed between Chasefu and the contractor. You cannot even read, because the copy is a blood copy. Even the next contract, all I can read is that there are, I think, 4 or 5 contracts. Why hiding the vital information about the contracts? Because this information is going to lead us to check how much you spent on these desks. I struggled just this afternoon when I checked, like the last sentence, April 2023, for the rehabilitation of 1,700 desks at contract sums of 46,750 each. This sentence, this statement, the refurbishment of one desk costed you 46,000. Check page 8 of 19. On failure to complete desks, I think the 3rd article, yeah, where they're describing the contractors who are refurbishing these desks. The last sentence is now attempting to explain the cost of these 1,700 desks, and the statement says that 1,700 desks at a contract sum of 46,750 each. So when I try to...
you can clarify on that?
Thank you, Chair.
It's not making any sense.
Yeah, apologies again for not having a coordinated report on this one. This project, in its inception, this is a project where we are trying to build capacity of our students. We had students that we had sent for carpentry. So when they came, we contracted them on labor based. So those are the labor contracts that we are talking about. Then on the other contracts that we are talking about, it's the suppliers of timber from the bush. So those are the contracts that you are able to see. But otherwise,
yeah. But I think the bottom line is that you have an coordinated report,
yes,
which is difficult to follow at times.
Yes,
it's very difficult to follow, because if you are saying this maybe for 6,750, where this is the amount that was paid to your students or something.
Maybe I can be assisted by my treasurer.
Director, Treasurer.
Thank you, Chair. The 46,750, it's per each contractor to finish the assigned desks. The entire groups mentioned above, each was to assign some number of desks. When you put together, the entire 1,700 desks should be made. Note that we are costing the desk at 46,750.
Same one.
Yes.
You have clarified that 46,750 was a contract sum per group.
Each.
So there were 4 groups which are listed above, hiding in the name of Romac Pharmacy, Sani Enterprise, Agreed Youth Cooperative, and Sekelela. So each one of those got 46,750, right?
Upon completion. As
Upon
at now, yes,
upon
as at
completion.
now, they haven't gotten that.
Upon completion, but
Yes.
when you go further down, amounts totaling 670, 195, the 670 is explained in open and close brackets to say labor is costing 99,860 and materials costing 570,335. I don't see the 46,750 to be incorporated in the labor of 99,000 here as a factor, because this is clearly explaining. So there's something mathematical error or
Treasurer, as we wind up.
Yes, Chair. The payment for 99,860, as in labor, it was being done in stages. We are not paying as the complete amount. When they do the flames, they were agreed amount which should be paid for the flames which they have fabricated and completed. Then we go to the next stage. Then they are paid for that stage. I think that's the clarification on that one.
I think you are just you're just complicating the matters yourselves. Because look, when you get a contractor to manufacture desks, they give you desks. You don't need to make those pieces. Now the frame you do this, the frame you do this. Cut the desk, a complete desk. There are 100. We need 100 from you as a contractor. They come, you pay. But when you say you want to pay timber, you want to pay frame, you want to pay this, at the end of the day, we will not be able to explain. You have this uncoordinated report at the end of the day. We want to appreciate you for making appearance this afternoon. Which critical question? Because you
which I
confuse
said,
them.
how many projects are we talking about in Chasefu? Because here you have the first page. You are saying a physical inspection revealed that out of 30 projects,
We gave you that.
but they didn't respond.
We gave you this from the
No, I
auditors.
want to hear it from them.
Summary, Chair. Thank you so much, Chair. Through you.
Listen,
Why have you failed to supply all the desks that we are supposed to supply to in Chasef, being given a period of more than 1 year, especially putting into account that you heard very clearly that the President is emphasizing that no child must sit on the floor. But you, Chasef, has not been able to supply these desks on time. This is rain season now. This is January. Actually, tomorrow is February. I submit, your Chair. Chair.
yes.
Yes, Chair. Like I've earlier alluded on this project, this is a project where we as a district decided to say, let's mop up all the frames in schools in Chasef and apportion a certain amount of money to rehabilitate so that we we cut on the number. But like I said, in the scoping of the project, a full feasibility, I think needed to have been done for us not to have struggled the way we have struggled. Otherwise, as we go back, we would like to assure the committee that this project will make sure before the end of the first quarter is completed.
Chair, through you. Do you mean in Chasef you had one or two mode of projects towards desks?
Yes.
Because no wonder the chair is saying, when you don't clearly explain,
Yes.
you leave your committee into question marks.
Yes.
Because mopping up is another thing. And then doing like your staff closer to you said, now we are doing desks. So if you tell us we are now doing desks, then later you are, flames, then later you say we are mopping. So mopping was different, eh? How many were they?
1,700.
Then those you are now giving no contractors, because you've told us now they are doing the flames. How many were they?
1,700.
So you had 1,700 plus 1,700.
No. The mopping
That's
is the
just the confusion.
I told you. Thank you very much. Chasef, you are relatively young local authority, full of energy. You're not expected to be uncoordinated in this manner. And the biggest issue in Chasef is delays in completing projects. What has been the problem? It should not be like that, because you have no excuse at the end of the day. Money is sent to you, the monitoring vehicle is there, the administrative component is there. So we do not want those delayed. I didn't want to just go back and start arguing on a building whose foundation they used mortar, and then you want to bring concrete blocks or something like that, and then the director of works certifies that one to be a strong building. We didn't want to go into that, because we are looking at you as very brilliant professional engineers that will not bring such a thing to the committee, because it was as good as with all the monies, start another classroom block on a fresh ground, other than doing whatever you're doing. Yes, you can rehabilitate, you can do something on the brown roof, maybe the strength of the walls are looking good, but not where you demolish halfway, you want to put another thing. That should not be encouraged, Council Secretary. It should not be encouraged. And from the technical point of view, actually, Director Engineering should say, no, we can't do this. Procurement, you procure fresh things, you put them on the old thing, and you say it's okay. However, I want to appreciate your appearance before this committee. We want to encourage you to work together, work as a team, and make sure that you don't come here so uncoordinated. But one thing we wouldn't desire to see again is the delayed projects from you. We want you to finish all the projects you had. Even the President made mention that the desire of all the local authorities to complete the old infrastructures, the white elephants that we are seeing across the nation. We must be able to work on them, and Chadiza should do the same. We wish to withdraw now the immunity that was conferred on you and allow you to go back to Chasef. Thank you very much. You are free to leave.
Nshiri mukume ulya sera uwakukuletela maluba chila bushiku ati ekukulanga ichitemwiko iyo nakalya Nshiri mwaume ulya pene uwakukutwala out ati ekukulanga